The thing that I think that women don't truly understand about sharing their essence with a man is that once you are connected to a man, he starts receiving things that he's never received. That's why they say, like, you've ever heard a man say, like, his life just got so much better once he got married and, he started doing right by his woman. That is because a woman's essence elevates a man in ways that he cannot experience on his own. And once he's connected to a good woman, he starts experiencing life from a whole totally different point of view. Because man by himself is just man. I'm not saying it's right and I'm not saying it's wrong, but men do not get the same type of love, acknowledgement, respect, consideration, all of those things. Men don't get that same type of natural love that women get. Men don't get that same type of attention that women get, okay? Women and their essence is what makes a man go from being a good man to being a great man, from being a handsome man to being the man that, people are like, what's he about? When they see you connected, when they see a man connected to a beautiful woman, that's when they start getting a different type of respect, love, admiration, consideration, because it's like, you're connected to this beautiful woman, like you clearly have something to offer, something of value in the world. And it's not just about beauty, but like just having a good woman that loves you, that respects you, that takes care of you, that invests her time and energy into you. That's why when we have the conversation of what does a woman bring to the table, I still don't know how to answer that question, because we live in such a material world that if you can't write, people feel like if they can't see it, then the value is not there. But you can't see the air that you breathe. So does that make the air that you breathe less valuable? Women's essence is what they bring to the table. And anybody who tells you anything different, go ahead and listen to them if you want to. This is why a lot of women walk around trying to prove themselves and feel like they have to do all of this, that, and the third to be with a man, and you don't. You have to focus on self, build a beautiful life for self, and anybody that you welcome into your life will benefit off of the fact that you take care of yourself. When you see a beautiful woman with a man, the first thing, especially if that man isn't particularly very attractive or handsome, the first thing you ask is like, why is she with him? 9 times out of 10, that's the question that you're gonna ask. The reason that people ask that is because they really want to know why. Because if she's not with him for looks, then what does he have? Because we live in a world that focuses on the way that you look, We live in a world that is about vanity. Like I said, we're not gonna say that's neither right or wrong. When you see a beautiful woman with a man that might not be as physically attractive as she is, then you get to asking, what does he bring to the table? What does he bring to the table? Because from first glance, you already know she has something of value. Her essence speaks for itself, okay? But then men start getting seen in a different light, because 9 times out of 10, in my mind, in your mind, in most people's mind, if they're looking at a beautiful woman with a man and he might not be as attractive, they're knowing that this man has some value beyond his looks, right? Cool. And that is the thing about it. Men don't always get recognition for the value that they bring because no one's looking at them. No one's paying attention. And then when they start getting a certain type of attention, people start noticing the value that they do bring. But a woman's essence, a woman that takes care of herself and lives a beautiful life and travels and she already has that attention. But a man might not have that. So that's why they say when they ask what does a woman bring to the table, it's her essence. She shines light on people, places, and things that would not normally shine without the female essence. This is the same thing of when you go to a nice nightclub and the women get in free and the men have to pay. They don't want to just be in a club full of men. The women get in free. Why? Why do the women get in free? Because the woman controls the narrative. The woman controls the narrative in a lot of situations, and men don't like to say flat out that we have the power that we have, but it shows in the way that different things are set up in the world. If you go to a nightclub and the women get in free and the men have to pay, what does that tell you? They want to use the women to pull the men in, okay? Because the women are the prize. The women are the prize. But they won't ever say that flat out, but it'll show up in different ways. The women are the prize, and that is okay. So when they ask what a woman brings to the table, it's her essence. If a woman doesn't have to pay because she's coming with her womanhood, then what does that mean? It's her essence. The power of a woman, for sure.